Alright, let's work on the digestive system. So this is gonna take a while. It's gonna be a long video. Or if not, it's gonna be a series of videos. We have carbohydrates, proteins, fats. All of these are broken for all cells to consume. So carbohydrates associated with glucose or yeah, basically carbs. Proteins, um, which are composed of amino acids. I believe it's 21 of them. How many amino acids are there? 21? 20. Okay. We have fats or lipids divided into three types: steroids, lipids, and phospholipids. I'm not sure if I remember right, but I made a video on that a few months back, specifically on macromolecules. Anyways, so the digestive system involves physical and chemical breakdown of food. So when it comes to the physical breakdown, I believe it's related to chewing. But when it comes to the chemical breakdown, obviously it's going to be um, by the time the food, or in other words, the bolus, reaches the stomach, the small intestine, particularly the stomach. I'm just not sure if this is associated more closely with physical or chemical breakdown. So, from the mouth, there is chewing and salivary amylase. This is actually what I was supposed to say in another video. Humans do not have the enzyme cellulase, since that is capable of digesting grass, or the cellulose content that is found in grass. And for humans, we have amylase instead. Cows or cattle have the enzyme cellulase, and that's the reason why they're able to consume grass as their food. So this salivary amylase intends to break down carbohydrates. And then we have the esophagus, the stomach. The stomach has three things. So it contracts the muscular walls for the mixing process. It produces pepsin. Pepsin and hydrochloric acid, uh, which are both produced by the stomach, altogether make what's called gastric juice, which is highly acidic. The pepsin, I'm not sure. It wasn't stated here what its purpose was. But for hydrochloric acid, it is intended to kill bacteria and basically make a livable place for the pepsin. So, okay, so after the stomach, I'm not sure what it's called. It's definitely not food anymore. Upon chewing, the food is called a bolus. But when it comes to the stomach, by the time it reaches the stomach, I'm not sure what it's called. But in the small intestine, this is where the digested food is absorbed into the bloodstream. So, um, again, this is where capillaries are very important. Aside from playing an important role in the respiratory system, uh, in the exchange of gases, it is important also in the absorption of nutrients coming from macromolecules. After food becomes hydrolyzed to a point of being macromolecules, they eventually become small enough to become absorbed into the bloodstream through the capillaries. So this is where most of the digestion happens. The small intestine is responsible for producing enzymes that aid in digestion. And I believe, well, no, forget about it. Definitely it's not amylase. Amylase is in saliva, so yeah. Okay, deliver O2 nutrients to cells. So this is the role of capillaries. So not just O2, but nutrients as well. Nutrients of all sorts: lipids, proteins, and glucose, or monosaccharides. So let's go to pancreas. This is the next destination. Well, not exactly. Um, it's an accessory organ compared to the others. Basically, in the pancreas, it is responsible for producing most of the digestive enzymes. So Yeah, probably more than the small intestine, although that detail is not that important. Um, so, as pancreatic juices in the duodenum is a portion of the small intestine. We have the ileum, jejunum, and duodenum. I'm just not sure how it's um, mentioned chronologically. There you go. Duodenum, jejunum, ileum. Alright, this is gonna be an important image for this part. So duodenum comes first, I believe. After the stomach, duodenum, and then what? This is the large intestine. Why is jejunum there? Oh wait, never mind. Sorry. Um, this inner part is the small intestine. The larger, the one that encompasses it, is the large intestine, the colon, in other words. So from duodenum to jejunum, and then ultimately to ileum. So yeah. So that's the pancreas. I believe the pancreas is also responsible for something related to the kidneys and blood sugar. So it's responsible for producing insulin to reduce the blood sugar levels in the body, to regulate basically. If your blood sugar is relatively high, insulin will make it low. Will try to make it low. And the effort depends on the amount. For the opposite of insulin, which is also synthesized by pancreas, I believe it's called glucagon. Wait, what am I? Is it still right in the first place? What I'm saying, pancreas secrete which hormone? Insulin. There you go. So insulin and glucagon. Glucagon does the opposite. If your blood sugar is low, it will try to make it high. And the effectivity depends on the amount of glucagon that is secreted by the pancreas. Next, gallbladder. It's responsible for releasing bile. What's the purpose of bile? It's transported to the small intestine, it appears, and the roles are to neutralize acid from the stomach. I believe this is not acidic, although it's easy to think that it's acidic, it's not. It's very alkaline, and that's the reason why it's capable of neutralizing the acid from the stomach, particularly the gastric juice. So these are acidic, the bile is alkaline. So alkaline plus acidic is equal to neutralization. So aside from that, bile is responsible for emulsifying fats. What's the meaning of emulsify? To become an emulsion. I know it has something to do with solutions, colloids, and suspensions. I'm just not sure if it's colloid or suspension. Okay, so steer fats. Okay. GCSE Biology Digestive System. The villi is responsible for helping contribute to the faster absorption in the small intestine. This is equal to a larger surface area. So, yeah, in other words, it increases surface area. What are the two adaptations of villi in the small intestine? So, villi only has villi. I'm not sure if this is this is plural. Villi only have one layer, surface cells, and villi also at the same time have very good blood supply. So yeah, I'm not sure what this concentration gradient is. I thought we were done with that concept back in cellular respiration, but it's still applicable in the context of the digestive system. How about number one? So diffusion distance is short as a result of having one layer of surface cells. And another feature of villi in the small intestine is that it has super thin walls. And what is villi in the first place? Like, yeah, these are the functions, but how do you describe it? I believe it's this one. They're basically the linings of the small intestine. So exchange surface, adapted to its function, single layer of surface cells, very good blood supply. Okay, so this is a single villus, and there is blood supply inside. All right, that makes sense. Bloodstream goes through here, and yeah, they contribute to the absorption of nutrients. Villi are responsible for that faster absorption. I have to ask this though. What primarily absorbs nutrients in the small intestine? Okay, the jejunum. But nevertheless, what helps in the faster absorption process is the villi, are the villi. So, undigested material will move to the large intestine, and this is basically your colon. Remove all of this excess H2O, excess water, and yeah, water we drink is absorbed by the intestines, circulated through the body in the form of blood and other fluids. And yeah, we take waste away. Let's move to food processing. All right, food processing. We have 4 steps: ingestion, digestion, absorption, and elimination. So for the first stage, ingestion, this is when we eat or feed ourselves. So 2 features, we have the salivary glands. They make saliva in order to carry out chemical digestion. We have the teeth for mechanical digestion. This is the physical breakdown of the food that we eat. For digestion, we have food being broken down into molecules that are capable of being absorbed by the body cells. We have 2 types in this stage. So chemical and mechanical. So that's also the same for ingestion. I'm not sure what's still mentioned there necessarily. Absorption. Cells take up small molecules. These molecules are made up of amino acids and simple sugars. Sorry. Alright, the library is closed. School library is closed. Let's finish with elimination. Elimination is basically defined as undigested material that's let out of the system. So yeah, it involves the role of the large intestine in letting out waste. Okay, next video.